Let's now work on the player request section in the dashboard page. So let's create a new branch here. So git branch and call it add player request section to dash. We need the dashes here. Add player request section to dashboard feature. I know the branch name is too long, but it works. So let's switch to it. To git switch and player request, and we are switched to it. Let's hit status here. Okay, nothing to commit. So now let's go to our code, and we have view team invite box. Let's close all of this. So close all, and here we can just copy the team invites folder because the player request section will be similar to team invite section. So let's copy it and paste it here. So let's rename this to player requests, and it should be done. Let me close my server here and terminate. Okay, it is done. Let's run the npm server again. So npm run dev, and let me rename the files here. So instead of team invite section, it should be player request section, and change the function name here. So it is player request section, and then we need to change the team invites grid here to player request grid.tsx, and update the imports. Now let's change the component here to player request grid, and it is updated here also. Let's update the team invite item also. So player request, and update the imports and rename the component name. So player request item, and then we need to rename this function. There is a lot of files involved in a single section, so it will be called view player request box. Update the imports, and let's just rename these files also. So view player request box, and rename this function to view player request box, and then we have accept and reject form. So let's rename this also quickly. So accept their request, so it will be accept their request form, and change this also reject player request. So here we have reject player request form, and we are done with renaming the files and components. Let's close all of them and visit the dashboard page and refresh the page, and it will not show up because we need to import it in the dashboard page. So here it is. Let's import it. So it will be player request section, and it will receive some properties such as user ID. So it will be user dot underscore id, and it is of type object id. Okay, then we need the exclamation mark and everything is good. If I now save it, there should be two team invite section here. So if I save it, and there is two team invite section because we need to change the text in our components. So let's do that. Instead of team invites, let's say player request, and if I save it, it should be renamed of the player request. Then we need to fetch the player request here. So const player request of type player request type, and it will be of type array. Let's remove this here and import this player request type, and we can also delete this. And then we need to create a function called get all user player request and pass in the user id here. So if I now save, okay, we are seeing an error. Let's create the function here. Let's copy the function name here and go to lib mongodb user.ts file. Let's create a function here, export not default async function, and paste the function name here. It will receive a user id of type object id. It will return promise of type player request type array, and it will fetch the client here, MongoDB client. So const client await get MongoDB client, and let's just copy paste the try catch block. So here then we need to say const player request equals await db.collection of type player request type, and collection name is player request. Then we need to find, then we need the player id and match it with the user id, and we also need to add a to array to it and return the player request here. Then we need to update the error messages. So failed to get all user player request from database. Let's just copy it and paste it below, and everything is good. Now let's import this function here. So import it, and let's update the player request grid here. So we can just close this file, and we need to update here. Instead of team invites type, we need to say player request type array, and we name this to player request, and here also player request. Let's delete this, and we don't need this. We need to update our player request item also, and we need to say no player request found. Okay, now let's update our player request item here also. Instead of this type, we say player request type, and let's delete these because we don't need these. And what do we have? We have message. We need the message here, player id and team id. So we need the message here. Let's do changes to our player request item in a moment and delete this because this is not using anymore. Let's go to our player request grid here and update few things. So it will be a, instead of team invite, that is a player request, and it doesn't have id currently. We need to define the id also. So let's go to type and pass it id here, underscore id, and it will be of type question mark, and we need to say object id, and that's all. We can close this file. There is no error anymore, and we are passing the play request object as thread operator. We can save this file, and we need the exclamation mark here, I think. Okay, we don't need it. Let's save it, and we should see the page here now. So it is saying no player requests found, because we might not have a team invite in our logged in user, that is the Dhruv Singh. So let's look at our database here, and if we go to player request, we should see object here, not object but document, and a player id or bcc6a. So it should be, I think, Shubham user. Let me confirm it. Okay, bcca Shubham Singh. So we need to log in with the Shubham Singh credentials. So let's log out from here and log in with Shubham Singh credential, that is abc@gmail.com, and password 123. And let's go to the dashboard. We should now see the player request. Okay, we are seeing an error. Team ID is not defined, and it is in the player item. Okay, let's just comment these for now. Okay, we are still seeing some errors. Okay, let's just fix this player request item so we can better look at the dashboard page. Okay, I have fixed and updated the UI of our player request item, and here is the details and code. So first we are fetching the team here to display the team details, then we are fetching the team captain to display the team captain, and then we are converting player request enum status enum to string here. And here is the code, you can look at it. So here is the code. Then we have a view player request box here, the pop-up menu that will show up to display the details of player request. And if we see on the browser here, let's look at it and click on the view button. Then we have the player request here, title, and here is a team details, everything about teams. Who is the captain? Captain is Dhruv Singh. Game is Apex Legend. Required rank gold. This is the website of team, and here is the description and experience, and also the message that is attached with the player request. And these accept and reject button don't really work, it just closes the pop-up menu, but we can add the functionality later if we need to. So let's click on any of these, it should close the pop-up menu and everything is good. So let's commit these changes also. Let's open our git bash here and then git status here, and we have modified these files and added a components folder here. So let's git add all of them and git commit with message add player request section to dashboard page in project, and let's commit it. Let's switch to main branch, git switch main, and let's merge the changes, git merge. And what is the branch name? Add player request section to dashboard feature, and it is merged successfully. Let's git status one more time. Nothing to commit. Let's push the changes to our GitHub. So git push origin main, and if everything is good, let's run git status one more time and git log here one line, and let's see the latest commit message. It is saying add player request section to dashboard page in project. And let's look at our GitHub repository. So if we refresh, we should see 60 commits and add player request section to dashboard page in project. And we are done with this branch. So let's delete the branch here. So git branch dash d add player request feature, and it is successfully deleted. Let's confirm it. There is only one branch and git status here, nothing to commit. Okay, so we have created our play request section in dashboard page. Let's close this also, and let's look at our website one more time. Let's also strike through this because we have implemented our dashboard here. And let's look at, okay, we need to change our title here to be clickable, and if we click on it, it should take us to the home page. So let's do that. Also, let's close all of this because we don't need this anymore. And let's go to our header components header. So header here, and in both a note and auth header we need to change from div to link. So let's import the link here from next link and close this also. Link and give a href here, href of value to the home route. So if I save it, everything is good. Let's update here also in auth header. Instead of div, let's say link. So link and with href property also, and it's all good. So if I now click on our website title, that is PlayUnion, it should take us to home page. Okay, it has taken us to home page, and let's maximize the view. So we are done with our website here. For now, we have a home page here with hero section says ready to find your next great teammate. Your gaming journey continues. Then we have trending games section, quick actions sections, and if we go to player find players page, we have a find players page with filter and players grid. Then we have find teams page with teams filter and teams grid. And if we go to our profile and pop-up menu show ups, then we have a link to create gaming profile page, create team page, and a dashboard page. So if I receive a good response from YouTube and users, then I will implement more feature to this. But for now, this project is done for me, and I hope it should get a decent response. And also I'll be making the PlayUnion project Git repository to GitHub publicly, so you can access the code and learn from it or do whatever you want. So bye bye.